Hello. You read the title. Splash-o-Matic time. I've used this a little bit in turf, just to A, practice, and B, grind up this life vest for use. I did want 2 subs of quick respawn and 1 sub of special saver, but oh well. It is what it is. Okay, here we are. The new Albacore Hotel. I'm not particularly fond of this map, but it's fine. It doesn't matter too much. So, this weapon here, the Splash-o-Matic, it's quite good at turfing. Not as good as the Aerospray, of course, but no one rivals that. But yes, it can get its specials fairly fast. It's good at killing if you're close enough range. Yeah. And it shoots straighter than anything, really. It's straightest shooting weapon. I've accidentally started off with the Neo, but that doesn't matter. We'll just maybe stagger the things so that it's Neo, regular, so on and so forth. Yeah, I think I'll do that. A little mistake results in a change of layout of the video, I guess. It's always nice to do something new, I guess. So, yeah. To make sure the video isn't as long as it normally is, because people don't tend to click on long videos. I'm going to speed up the bits where I'm not talking and where nothing of note is happening. So, it's going to look rather interesting. Oh, their explodey bucket had at me. That's saddening. Especially because I actually like the explodey bucket. And I'm looking forward to when I'm doing a T.I.T episode on it. Might as well jump in. Nothing to stop me. I feel like there's a considerable amount of lag happening here. How about you? Revenge for earlier, we'll call it. There we are. So, I'm running an MPU build with this. Because, A, Fierce Fish Skull, MPU, favorite hat, channel name. But also, I'm the sort of person who does run MPU builds when it has damage up. Because having a chance to have 1 less shot needed for a splat is quite nice. And especially when the weapon in question is really good at turfing. So if you have shoddy aim, which I do, then sometimes you'll manage to hit the ground where the enemy is standing instead of them, but then that'll do the 1 damage and ink. Unfortunately, I have been killed by the Aerospray. But might as well jump. Whee! There we are. But I did win, I think. I hope. Yeah, I won. But yeah, I'm not going to bore you with the long-winded bits here. So I'll just show the splat count and then just cut to the next bit. I kind of forgot to switch to the regular splash, so I'll just go Neo, regular, so on and so forth. Alright. I'll be deciding in post what bits to speed up and what bits not to. And if some of my speech gets caught in that, then oh well, I will be using the option in the video editing software to balance the pitch so that it's just faster and not higher. So it'll sound a bit weird, but not high-pitched. And Tenta missile spam, I see. Maybe not spam. What on earth just happened? Is this lag I'm seeing? I think it's lag. Which is weird, since I have fairly alright internet. Not enough to warrant this kind of lag. Oh, it looks like their sploosh is disconnected. It's fine, it's not as though it would have made much of a difference anyway other than turfing. Considering how terrible that weapon is a lot of the time. But yes. Yeah, time to throw a bunch of suction bombs. At one point, in a conversation with a person in real of the life, I called it a suck launcher. This particular special. And I find that amusing. That I would call it a suck launcher. But it launches suction bombs, and suction bombs often get shortened to suck bombs when spoken of. Hey, is that a beacon? You can't have beacons. Can I get at you? No. I'm trying to destroy your beacon here, do you mind? Gone? It's gone. Okay, that took a while. But it's the little things in the game like that that make it more amusing to play, you know? If you don't, then, But anyhow, yeah, winning. That's good. I like winning. And we are absolutely crushing them. Due in full part to the fact that they have a disconnect. And it's the sad truth that having a disconnect means certain death. Certain loss. I think in the next game they should do at least some small thing about disconnects. Like, maybe put some sort of thing, like some AI thing with the AI of Inner Agent 3. Because that's the best AI in the game. And just give it, like, lots of special charge, lots of everything, just to sort of compensate for the fact that they're not really going to be that smart. Maybe, I don't know. But do something about it so that it doesn't feel as though it's an instant loss. I again forgot to switch to the regular Splash-o-Matic. I apologise since this has happened many times now. But please put up with it. Thanks. Anyway, for the next one, I guarantee I will be using the regular Splash. If I forget to switch again, I will just exit the lobby by closing the game. Not a disconnect, but an exit of the lobby. Just for clarification, I'm not an arsehole. I don't disconnect on purpose. Oh. What happened there? I think I just got killed. Alright. That's fine, I guess. I get killed all the time. And, now that my first death has occurred, the quick respawn will come into play each and every time I die with no splats. So that's nice. I don't know why the first death doesn't activate it. It seems kind of a bad design decision, really. To have that be the case. Oh, come on! Ugh. Its weapon's kind of irritating to use sometimes if your aim isn't precise. Which mine isn't. But there we are, I managed to get revenge. They have a sprinkler there, and I don't like sprinklers, so I'm going to destroy the sprinkler. How about you? When you actually can aim properly with this thing, it's a joy to use. Especially if you are good at getting up in close to your opponents and having at them. Especially from behind. I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have done that. I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid. Ah! Bah! Ugh. That was a close one. So, here is a common specimen, an Aerospray MG, in Turf War. It is in fact the turf weapon. However, they are not just using it for turf, they actually managed to kill me with it. But I managed to have it then. Because I do not appreciate being killed. As does nobody. Nobody appreciates being killed. I think I may have done a bad in terms of speaking. Which is bad, since English is my first language and the only language I can actually speak fluently. But, that's fine. It's just a small intricacy. And I'm not exactly in a formal setting, so... yeah. That's fine. I believe I have won. Yeah, I did. No wonder, this is Turf War, and I'm S+ in terms of rank, so... yeah. Plus I've used the splatter shot in ranked a lot. Not the vanilla one, obviously. Splashdown is kind of bad. Here we are. I managed to actually remember to switch to the regular Splash this time. It has Toxic Mist and Inkjet. I am terrible with Inkjet, and Toxic Mist is not really a sub I particularly enjoy. So it's kind of inevitable that I would practice this weapon with its Neo version, which is far easier to use, and just in general what people would prefer. Since Inkjet, pretty hard to use, and Toxic Mist is not popular in the slightest. It's strong, but only like if you use it properly. That goes for literally everything. Well, that did nothing. I got turf at least. That matters. I am not brilliant at aiming, as I have said. Which is odd, since the Splattershot Pro, Kansas Splattershot Pro, is one of my favourite weapons. Yay, I managed to do something with an Inkjet. Why did I do that? That's a Toxic Mist, not a first one. What am I doing? It's just become a habit at this point to do it in Turf War. To throw out a sub in that general area. On this particular map. In terms of shooter games, this is like the only one I play. I do have TF2, but that's literally only for the Gmod things at the moment. But at some point soon, I am going to actually start trying to play it. Casually, of course. But yeah. This is like the only shooter game I'm ever going to try and play, like, sort of semi-competitively. But even then, not even proper competitive, just slightly, just play the ranked modes. Neat. That's nice. Okay. Did I accidentally squid bag there? Due to enemy ink? I hope I didn't, because squid bagging is nasty and terrible. And just really mean. And I'm not really mean. I get angry sometimes, but I never squid bag. Unless someone's giving me something to be an arsehole in this game. Which happened at one point. Weird, I know. But, yes. I never squid bag, and you should never squid bag either. If you play any amount of this game, ever, online, just take my advice. Never squid bag. Nobody likes you for it. And people always really hate squid baggers. And in fact, you may get targeted in Turf War for it. Maybe not so in ranked, but in ranked, you're just a sitting duck. You know? Unless you're moving whilst doing it. But it's just a bad thing to do in general. Personally, I don't like people who run Respawn Punisher. Okay, yeah, as I was saying, I don't really like people who run Respawn Punisher, but it's fine. You can run whatever gear abilities you like. Just a bit of logical advice here. Don't really run speed with a roller or a brush, because it doesn't affect the speed at which you run whilst rolling. It really doesn't, and I always feel like whenever I see someone running that sort of set, because it does make logical sense, you know. the thing that makes you run faster should make you run faster when you're running with a weapon, but it just doesn't work like that, and it disappoints me to see people running those gear abilities with those particular weapons, because it doesn't help. MPU is what you want in a brush, and with a roller there's literally no way to increase the speed. Oh! Oh, I forgot the splashdowns had far too much vertical power. Which is dumb, really. Think about it. You slam the ground. You don't expect someone in the air to get killed by it. But whilst I'm on the topic of MPU, as I left the topic earlier, but yes, I was on the topic of MPU earlier, and so I'm going to carry on with that. MPU with a roller is quite useful, because it'll increase the range at which you can one-shot people. It does say increased damage, and it is increased damage, but the way the increased damage works, because of the way the weapon works, it increases your one-shot range. Yeah, I like it. I always love it when I can actually cancel a splashdown successfully. And this weapon has got a good enough rate of fire that you can cancel splashdowns even if they're not one shot away from dying. Which cannot be said about some weapons. You know what's odd is that I'm alright with a charger, but with an inkjet I'm useless. Apart from there, somehow I managed to cancel a splashdown using an inkjet. I've not done that before. But I never use inkjet, so... Come on, how are they getting so much turf? Are my teammates just being that incompetent? Well, I'm dead. Maybe that's one of the reasons I keep dying. There goes my teammate with the tent. How about you? Ow. Why is he running 2 mains and 2 subs of MPU? It's not gonna help it that much. I think. Maybe there's some secret meta. 2 mains, 2 subs MPU on a Splattershot Pro. Suddenly it's the best thing in the game because teammates. I guess. I did lose, which is bad. But who cares? It's turf war. Oh, we had a disconnect. I hadn't realised. Possibly because it's a Splattershot Junior, and you never realise when a Splattershot Junior is disconnected because it's practically grey anyway. Oh, look at that. Alright, Piranha Pit. Interesting. I have a quick announcement to make as well. Once I reach 420 subscribers, I'm going to record myself eating a lemon. And then I'm going to post that on YouTube. I don't know why you'd want to watch me eating a lemon, but it's there. Or it will be there once I reach 420 subscribers. Why 420? It's the funny weed number. I don't know why it's the funny weed number, but it is. And for that, I laugh at it. And yeah, funny. Haha number. So yeah. And at some point in time, I'll probably start streaming. But only if I actually get an audience. If I have like 10 subscribers, I'm not going to start streaming from that. How did they not hit me? Nothing came of that. Piranha Pit is an interesting map, and it's not one that I particularly enjoy. But it's there. And, it's alright. It's not the worst. These side bits here, they're only ever gone into in Turf War. So in the ranked modes where these actually are still there, no one goes to there because the objective's not there. And on Rainmaker, where these are completely replaced, they're completely replaced, and where the spawns are now, you literally can't access without an inkjet, I'm pretty sure. Oh, come on! Was I not using it right? I don't think I'm using it right. If I could get some advice in the comments if you're someone who knows how to use inkjet properly. That would be good. I could just like search up how to use inkjet properly, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, what? Ah! I always find it extremely frustrating to go up against really long-range opponents when I have a short-range weapon. Oh, look at that. Because it feels like I have far too little range. But the thing is, when I use a long-range weapon, it feels like everything has more range than it should be, apart from me. It's a horrible circle. Ah, what? Ugh. Heavy Splatling Remix. It's a weapon that I enjoy using. Highly recommend. If you can master partial charges and how to use them right, it's an excellent weapon to use. Because partial charge will not get you your longest range, but you only have to charge a little bit to get your 4 shots out to actually splat someone who's just, like, come in front of you or something. I did lose. I don't like losing. But it did happen. Probably because I'm not particularly good with an inkjet and I'm not particularly good with a Splash-o-Matic. And Toxic Mist is Toxic Mist. So, yeah. I guess. Okay. Match number 3 with the Vanilla Splash. And then I'll go on to another 3 with the Neo, and then another 3 with the regular. Yeah. Enjoy this sped up bit. Okay, sped up bit is over. I'm terrible at hitting a shot with this. In case you can't already tell. I can't really do well at aiming at people who are below me. Or above me, in any case. That's why when I'm playing Charger or Splatling, I don't really take the high ground as often as you really meant to. And that's probably also why I'm so terrible at using an inkjet. But alas, here we are. Maybe my aim will get better over time. It tends to, in terms of things. You do tend to increase skill over time. When it comes to anything, so I might as well jump here. There's no one inked over here then. Huh. I can't figure out why, since that's free turf. The enemy can't really get here, I don't think. One time, when I was trying to use inkjet in a thing, I guess it was Turf War, Moray Towers it was, I was in a sort of a dogfight with another inkjet, and I managed to hit them out of the air. Which, if you're talking, you watch people who tend to be very competitive, like that SRB2 dude and such. That's not too impressive, he probably does that on a daily basis. But, for me, it was quite good, and I have not aimed better. I have not aimed that well with an inkjet since. But I guess it was because it was, like, on the same sort of flat level as me. Does that make sense? I'm trying to visualize it, but I'm not actually recording it with a webcam. Because I have not reached that 420 mark, and I've not yet recorded myself eating a lemon, so no facing content until I've eaten that lemon. And no lemon until I've reached 420 subscribers, so, yeah. Even then, after I've done that, I probably won't use my facing stuff too much, since I can't be bothered. Does it add a lot? I'm not so sure it does. We lost there, but that's probably because we were running double Squiffer. Which is interesting, but it's not great in turf. And, yeah. That's unfortunate. What did the enemy team have? Oh, 2 bloblobbers. They're good at turfing. And now we're back with the Neo Splash. My preferred one, since it has a special I can actually use without... Oh, would you look at that. Well, we've probably won. But I can't really be bothered to cut to a different match, since I know that future me is lazy, and he has a right to be, since he's already done all these sped up bits. So I might as well just have this as one of my 6 matches with the Neo Splash. I got killed by a baller. A hamster ball. Whee! Jumping is fun. You have to appreciate the level of detail Nintendo have put into the backgrounds for these stages. Like, the stuff you'd only really see while you're super jumping, but you do still see glimpses of. It's quite nice to see that they've put so much effort into the stuff. And then perplexing because they have really bad things, like how many disconnects happen. Take this match for an example as a disconnect here. Like, come on. Disconnects happen all the time and they shouldn't. But it feels like Nintendo like to put in effort with some things but not others. That's what I feel like. Like, for instance, with Pokemon, the animations suck. They suck hard. Don't take that out of context. But, like, the design origins and such, and name origins and inspirations and such, they are top-notch. So many different things that they're based off of. And yet, the animations are terrible. But I guess that's kind of Game Freak's fault. The animations on most Nintendo things are pretty good. Take Odyssey, for example. The cutscenes are brilliant. One thing I have about this game here in particular, that I don't really like too much, is the fact that the Inklings and Octolings' mouths, they flip between strict, solid positions. And they're not fluid like the eyelids or the eyes themselves. When I feel like they could be. Like, for instance, on Gary's mod, if you have, like, Inklings and whatnot, you can make pretty good mouth animations. Like, just have it transition smoothly. But with this, it's just solid, like, positions. And it's not really flowing, if you get what I mean. You know? It kind of breaks the immersion a little. Okay, so what's this? Match 5 with the Neo. I think it is. So, back in the pit of piranhas. I don't know why it's called that, other than the alliteration that occurs, which a lot of sort of game devs like when they're designing maps for anything. It's either a pun, something cool, or alliteration. Or all three at once. It's not impossible. Okay. Alrighty. How about you? That was fun. At some point in time, I'm going to try and get really good at having up people with burst bombs. So that then I can sort of run the Aerospray PG with some sub-saver, sub-power, and then, of course, my Fierce Fish Skull. That's my channel name and whatnot. So that I can sort of use burst bombs as the offensive weapon, and just turf with the actual main. And just grind out specials really quickly. Because MPU increases turf coverage. which can sort of inadvertently act as a special charge up. Because more turf yank, more... Oh, he was retreating, so I thought he was a backline weapon. I don't know why, because I should have known that, like, their team comp, it doesn't have anything that would flee. A 96 would just shoot anyway. I'm not gonna lie. The 96 Skull is the sort of weapon where close range is not as good as others, but, like, it can still hold its own. It can still do stuff. Not that well, of course, but... You see there? No NPU. I wasn't damaged at all, and they just had at me extremely fast. And the fact that it has so much range as well. At some point, I plan on ranting about how bad the Clash Blaster is. But not right now. That's unfortunate. I got killed. With neither remorse nor regret. And I'm just gonna jump straight back in. Why not? Oh, come on! Ugh. I wish I was better with an inkjet, because it's such a good special, but it's so hard to use, you know? Also, fun fact, did you know that you can't actually have ink armor on the Rainmaker? It just doesn't happen. I didn't know that until I was actually told at some point in time. I can't remember when. But yeah, you can't actually have ink armor on the Rainmaker. I think that's a loss there. I lost. Oh well. And time for the final match with my lovely Splash-o-Matic Neo. The one which I prefer. Hopefully that Elite 4K doesn't cause me any troubles. I am short range, and it is like one of the longest range. It's not even just a regular one. I think that has a scope as well, meaning it has even more range. I feel like no, it doesn't have a scope. I feel like the Elite 4K is a weapon that should have a bit more range. You know? It's already got lots, but it doesn't feel like lots when you're using it. And compared with other games, like, it has really, really terrible range. But, yeah, I feel like it should have, like, a significant amount more range. That, or NPU, will significantly increase range instead of just slightly. If you disagree, sure. I see why. But if you don't disagree, thank you. I never realized that this is inkable. Yay, I had at them. Unfortunately, I was killed by the Octobrush. The Octobrush is a weird weapon. I used to main it. Its fire rate isn't great, considering it's 3-shot. 4-shot at enough range. But you literally do not have to aim. You do a little, but not much. Oh, who killed me? He did. Oh. He doesn't even have Object Shredder. But yeah. What was I talking about? I think Elite 4K's range. I feel like... Yeah, MPU should significantly increase its range. Because then it will actually feel like you have a lot of range. But then, like... Because of the way things, like, kind of work with aim, the further away your target is, the harder it will be to aim. Meaning that if you're really good at sniping, then you can get away with things that would be extremely frustrating to deal with, but extremely hard to do. You know? Because if the Elite 4K had more range, then it would be really, really, really good. Problem is, it might be a bit too good. Did he just store a charge and then wait to land before he actually released it? Why? Why did I hear an armor sound? I heard an armor sound on my burst bomb. That's weird. But okay. I've done all my things with the Neo. And now I have to go and use the regular one, which has Inkjet, which I am really bad at using. Yay! Brilliant! Okay, match 4 with the regular Splash-o-Matic. Hopefully, maybe my aim has improved a little with Inkjet. But probably no. I'm probably really still terrible. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Stop watching. Don't really. But, okay, here we go. This is Exist. The song which is playing is the one that is like the sort of Splatak of this game, I guess. Whenever I hear Splatak, I get nostalgic for what could have been, because I wasn't really allowed to play the online of Splatoon, even though it came with my Wii U. Because my parents were worried, as parents do. Which is fair enough. But I never really got the opportunity. So, whenever I hear it, because I did actually play Splatoon 1 online a bit before I actually got Splatoon 2. Oh, what? Yeah. I get a bit nostalgic for what I could have experienced. Like all the Splatfest that I could have experienced. All of the frustration and happiness that I could have experienced. All of everything which I could have experienced, but I didn't. I find that when I'm playing this game, I tend to have tunnel vision for a single target, and then I don't really acknowledge the fact that other people are there, and they can also kill me. But hey, at least I get trades. And if I'm just in a sort of 1v1, then it's not a bad place. Yay, I killed someone. Only when playing a video game could you say that. Saying that in anything to do with real life would get you arrested. By the way, if you're bored of this video, then please keep watching. I think viewer retention helps with the YouTube algorithm. This Skull Bun player is being kind of irritating. They keep killing me. And the fact of the matter is that I'm getting trades as well, so I can't even have my one sub of quick respawn come into effect. I wonder how many splats they had at the end of the match. Probably a lot. More than me. We did win somehow. I'm surprised, honestly. But let's just have a look-see. Yep, as I thought. Here we are. Turf War. I don't have a lot to say. Other than I should probably go into a different lobby at this point. Because it's the same group of people I'm fighting, and it's probably not fair for experiment type stuff to be like that. You missed. You missed again. Unfortunately, the blobber didn't. Blur, blur, blur. That's what I say as blobber. Now that you know that, I can freely say blur, blur, blur instead of blobber or blobber. Oh, look at that, they have a disconnect. How wonderful. For me, at least. Not for them. Certainly not for them. They're probably sad. So they're going to lose. You can place multiple Toxic Mists, but you can't actually throw multiple from the same tank, so... yeah. Again, that Octobrush being frustratingly good at it. Do I risk the jump? I do not risk the jump. Because the entirety of the enemy team is still alive. And I don't want to die. Oh, what a coward. What an absolute coward. I think that jumping out is a bit of an act of cowardice. Honestly. Oh, come on. But yes. I always feel like an enemy is a bit cowardly if they jump out. And then whenever I jump out, which I don't most of the time, the very fact that I think it's cowardly makes me immediately inclined to not do it. But yes, I think it's cowardly. Oh, come on! Ah! Yes, indeed, booyah. They keep throwing ink storms, which is annoying. But it's not going to get them to win the match. I think for the final one, I'm probably going to go into a different lobby. Because that one particular Octobrush, it's kind of getting on my nerves now, the fact that they keep splatting me. And, yeah. Different things tend to be better. There's that. Here we are. Final match of this episode of T.I.T. Try and Turf. Alright. We have an Elite 4K on our team. I don't know, it might be the same one from the last lobby, but I can't tell. And I'm just gonna paint all this, because it's turf war, he meant to. Isn't it kind of funny how there's like just a casual table here? Can you go underneath it? No, you can't. Funny that. Right. I tried using the squeezer once. It was in Rainmaker. The fact that you have to keep tap shotting was messing with my aim so badly since I used motion controls. So, I did terribly. In fact, I performed better with the Bamboozler than I did with that. And actually, I don't do too badly with the Bamboozler. If I spam MPU, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. How about you? Never walk forwards in a straight line when someone near you has an inkjet and they're also an enemy. It's easier pickings than normal when that happens. I don't say easy because it's not easy. Inkjet is not easy unless you have very good aim and are very good at using it. Which I'm not. You already know this, I've told you. We appear to be winning. I don't know how long that will last, or if it will last. I just hope it does. And if it doesn't, then sadness shall follow. Well, a trade is better than simply dying. So, there we are. That applies to more than just Splatoon 2. It applies to things like certain things in real life. Oh, look at that, my squeeze is gone. For instance, it's better to just trade something with a person rather than just have them kill you. And I died. It's better in, I guess, Minecraft for villagers. Better to trade than to just die, but unfortunately, villagers don't really have sense. So they won't really give you better trades if you threaten to kill them. Because you can't exactly threaten to kill them. You can't really talk to them. Not the best, that. There we are, they're dead now. Might as well jump here. Here we are. Oh. I probably should have been able to have out that particular person, but I couldn't, and we won because they had a disconnect. Which is, I guess it's an alright way to end. Do you think? Nah, I guess so. So, to conclude, the Splash-o-Matic is a good weapon, but I'm not good with it. It's a monster at close range, and if it's pointing directly at you. Otherwise, it's terrible. It's got good painting, though, so it can charge its specials fairly fast. For a rating, I'd give it a... good. That's what I give it. A good. So, yes. Please do things that help.